I'm Dr. Karen Christofferson from Grand Avenue Veterinary Center, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about what to keep in a first aid kit for your pet at home. I use a lunch bag as my first aid kit. I keep this in my home, but I also take it with me if I go camping or traveling with my pets at all. It's nice and compact and mobile, and I know everything's in one place. So I'll kind of just take things out one by one and go over them. A muzzle is a great idea to have in your first aid kit, and it's a great thing to teach any dog how to wear a muzzle. If your dog is injured and in pain, they may react by biting you or anyone else who may be trying to give assistance, and so having it right there, even if it's not something that you use in everyday life, is a great idea. Some hydrogen peroxide is a good idea. You can dilute it and use it as an antiseptic or wound cleaner, or if you are somewhere remote, you can use it to induce vomiting. Before you do that, you should always talk to your veterinarian about how much to give your pet, and there are better alternatives if you have access to your veterinarian, but this can do in a pinch, for example, if you're camping or at a cabin or somewhere. I like to keep some bandaging material, and this is all kind of packed up compact. What's in here is Talfa pads, which are the first layer you would put on a wound that doesn't stick, some gauze squares for padding, a little bit of roll cotton, again for padding, some roll gauze, and what's called Coflex or vet wrap as an outer layer to keep it on. These are all things that you can get in the first aid section of any drugstore. They're all very widely available. The other thing that I like to use sometimes for wounds, believe it or not, is a maxi pad. Because if you have a wound that's oozing or seeping and you put it on the wound and then use your gauze or vet wrap to hold it on, it's very absorbent. That's what it's made for. So it helps, you know, if you have a wound that's bleeding that you need to cover it and get to the vet, they can be very useful. Some eye wash solution. Again, this is something you can get over the counter at any drugstore. You can use it to rinse the eyes out, or you can use it to rinse wounds or rinse sticks or pebbles out of wounds or things like that. It's very useful. Along those same lines, this is a collapsible water dish. If you need to rinse into something, it's very helpful to have around, and it breaks down and fits really neatly inside. You can also get little cardboard fold-up water bowls that do the same thing. It's just sometimes nice to have a little basin like that. Some tools that are useful are a comb, a bandage scissors, a forceps or a tweezers, and a nail trimmer. Again, you never kind of know what's going to happen. You may need to comb burrs out, or pick ticks out, or cut little mats out, or your dog may break a nail that needs to be trimmed, and this is all useful to have, as well as some styptic powder. So again, this would be if your dog breaks a nail and it's bleeding, this can help stop it. If you don't have commercially made powder, you can use cornstarch as an alternative and keep a little jar in your first aid kit. Antihistamines can be helpful for dogs who tend to have allergic reactions, or Dramamine for motion sickness. Again, these are drugs, don't use them without the advice of your veterinarian. Always get a dose from your veterinarian, but they are over-the-counter medications that can be useful in a first aid kit. A good ear wash and an antiseptic solution for cleaning wounds if you don't want to use hydrogen peroxide. These are useful. Again, just you never know kind of what you're going to encounter. If your pet takes any prescription medications, it's a good idea to keep some of them in the first aid kit. Also, if you travel with your pet and your pet has a tendency to have certain problems like ear infections or skin infections, your veterinarian may be willing to give you a small supply to have on hand in your first aid kit for when you're traveling if you don't have access to be able to visit them. So that's something you'd have to ask them about. Also, Poop bags are a nice thing, not just for poop, but if you have to clean up a wound and then you have a bunch of bloody, messy gauze and paper towels around, they can be nice to clean things up and get it thrown away safely. A card with the pet poison hotline number in it, your pet's vaccination record, and brochures for your veterinarian and local emergency clinics are a great thing to keep here, mostly because then you know where it is, and in an emergency, if you're panicking, you're not scrambling to find these things, they're just, you know where everything is. Topical wipes can be great. They're really compact. You can throw them in your pocket if you're going on a hike and something happens to quick clean a wound. Topical antibiotic ointment is fine to use for most small wounds and abrasions in dogs, and so it's nice to have it in your pack. And then lastly, syringes for flushing. So like if I take my antiseptic and I want to flush a wound, these are easier to use sometimes than trying to do it with the bottle, or even your eye wash sometimes. And these you can buy over the counter usually, or your veterinarian may be willing to sell them to you. So it looks like a lot, all exploded out like this, but it all packs very neatly into a small space. Like I said, I bring this when I'm camping, going to the cabin, traveling with my dogs, but also it's nice to have everything in one place at your home as well. If you have any questions about anything, please feel free to give us a call. Thank you.
Thanks for watching the video. To watch the next one, click right here. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button right here.